You are writing the exact same story as about 1,000 other people right now. The only thing that makes your script unique is you. So, what I want to get you to do is I want you to write your story, but I want you to write it in your voice, not someone else's voice. If you start trying to write like Aaron Sorkin or like me or like any other of the writers that you can think of, what you're going to find is you're going to find that it's going to be inauthentic and it's going to be a terrible story. Because what really makes your story great is you. I could give my friend Ryan and we could write the exact same story. His is going to be different than mine. His is probably going to be a little better than mine, but his is going to be different than mine. The reason why is because I'm a different person. I have a different life experience. I talk differently. I write differently. My imagination is different. Even though we'll use the same outline, we'll get better stories or worse stories or just plain different stories. And so, what I want to encourage you to do is keep writing. The one thing that I will never forget is I was watching Aquaman, and what I noticed there is that they have the exact same story as Tokyo Drift, the Fast and Furious movie. And if you watch each piece by piece, the similarities are resounding. You've got the main character who is in a new scenario. He gets into a fight and gets his butt kicked. He just loses. Or in Tokyo Drift, he loses the race and destroys a car. But then as he grows, he starts actually becoming more integral. Man, I can't talk today. Be more integral in the community, and he starts learning how to use what he's got, how to drive the car, how to use his superpowers, whatever it is. And he becomes better and better and better until he gets the rematch that he's needed. And so he takes the final where it's like we're all getting down to this one thing. And then they drive down a mountainside, or they use their superpowers to fight each other, or whatever. And then he overcomes. Now, these are the exact same stories, whether it's with cars or with superpowers, whether it's drifting or swimming. Or Aquaman, I've only seen it a couple times, but I was always really inside of me. It was one of those things where it's like, it's different, but it's the same. And I'm like, well, I don't want to write the same story as everybody else. It's like, too bad. There's nothing new under the sun. I think that's a Bible verse. But there's nothing new under the sun. You are going to write the same story as someone else. If you watch a movie from the 50s, it might even have the same kind of storyline. Our structure might be different. Our production quality might be better. But it's going to have the same story. And so if you want to write a different story, then you got to find a way to get you to write that story and have it real and authentic. There was a story written called The Matrix. I'm not sure if anyone's ever heard about it, by the Wachowski brothers. And they wrote this story, and then they were like, this is such a unique story, as no one's ever told this story before. And then the Christian population was like, well, that's exactly the same story. That's a biblical story. Moment by moment by moment, it's a biblical story. And they were so upset that they changed the storyline in the second one so it would be so far from the biblical story. But the truth of the matter is, the story that they had in mind was a biblical story. There's a chosen one. He's come to save us. He dies and then he comes back to life, which no one has ever seen before. And then he takes them out, and it's Mr. Anderson. This story has been told hundreds of times. But The Matrix told it differently, and that's why it was such a good movie. You can't tell a new story. You could tell the same story in a different context. Like if you're writing something that's set on Mars, it's still going to be a coming-of-age movie, or it's going to be a disaster movie, or it's going to be, you name it. There's only really about 75 different movies, but the difference is who's writing it. This is why I like true stories so much, is because a true story, it's not the same story as everyone else, but it kind of is. And if you get caught writing the same story as everybody else, the problem is not the story. The problem is you. And it's you. You've stopped yourself from actually writing authentic stories. But my authentic stories are terrible. Yes, they are. But that's because you don't have enough practice. And you need to be putting more practice in. They say that 10,000 hours is what it takes to become an expert at something. And so if you want to be really, really good at something, you need to put the time in for it. That's what's going to make your stories better or worse, is are you willing to put the time in to actually be a great writer? Because if you're not, that's fine. Write stories, but don't expect them to be amazing stories. Aaron Sorkin is a master writer. He is a master writer. He makes $1 million or something like that for every script he makes. It's crazy. But he did that because he worked at writing and he practiced and he built this writing skill that he's got, and now he makes money doing that. And what I want to do is I want you to do the same thing. Build your skill and learn how to be authentic in your writing. Oh, but I don't know what to do. That's fine. Do bad. Write poorly. Explore a new writing structure. We talked last week with Ryan Serro about a writing structure and having a writing structure that fits your writing style. And it was just a short bit of our conversation, but what he said is he's tried many different writing structures, and there's something he really wants to try now, and I want to encourage you to do the same thing. The structure that I have learned, the structure that I write, is from Save the Cat, and it's the beat sheet. And that structures out my entire story, and then as I go, it's going from A to B, from page 1 to page 12, from page 12 to page 25, from page 25 to 50, from 50 to 55, and so on and so forth until the structure is complete, until I've told the story. Is it going to be a little boring? No. Because the story is different, because I'm different. The story I'm writing today is different than the story I wrote last week. Even though it's in the same script, I'm a better writer now because I've put the time and the energy and the effort into becoming a better writer. And so that's what I want you to do, is I want you to write better. I want you to write better and better and better and better until it's something that you're like, I want to watch this movie. I want to watch it. I want to see it be made. I want Chris Pratt to play in this movie, or whoever your candidate is. But you have to practice. You have to get 10,000 hours in. And that's what I'm doing right now. Am I a master writer? No. Ryan is way better of a writer than I am. Why? Because he's put the energy and the effort in. I have not put that much in. I'm going to. You watching this channel, what you're going to see is you're going to see me get better and better and better. You're going to see me interview people who are better and better and better than me. Because I want to get better, and I want to interview people that are way better than me, so that when I write, I'm actually writing something that's worth watching. And so I'm going to learn, and I'm going to ask better questions. You watched the first interview with Gary. It was like, okay, we just had a conversation. I didn't know what to ask. The second interview I watched, I asked Ryan. I was able to give him, okay, this is what comes next. And it's like, okay, I'm going to ask these questions, and I'm going to become better at one, I'm going to become better at interviewing, but two, I'm going to become better at writing, because I'm going to put the time and the energy in different ways. I'm going to interview people. I'm going to keep writing my scripts. I'm going to write new stories. I'm going to listen to people who write books. I'm going to interview people who write books, and I'm going to learn how to be a better writer. We all have the opportunity to sit there and go, do I want to put 10,000 hours in or not? If you want to be good, if you love writing, you've probably already put in 1,000 hours, 2,000 hours. But if you're just getting into this, it doesn't matter. 10,000 hours before you really can actually move forward. 10,000 hours before you can say, I'm a master. And you're learning. It's not 10,000 hours of the same thing over and over and over. You're listening to interviews. You're reading other scripts. You're reading a script before you watch the movie. This is one of the favorite things that I did, is I would read a script and then I would watch the movie. Or I'd find a movie that I loved and I would Google to see if I could find the script. And I would find the script and I'd read it and I'm like, oh, that's not in the movie. Why is that not in the movie? And then I would go rewatch the movie and be like, oh, it didn't fit anymore because this was an earlier draft. And so we sit there and go, okay, well, what happens if my writing's never good? Your writing gets better. If you are intentionally trying to get better and you're reading your own work saying, this is where I want to improve, it will get better. The question is, do you want to actually put in the work and the effort to grow? If you do, then this channel is for you, because I want to get the best people that I can to help you write stories that matter and help you to be more authentic with the stories that you're writing. This is why I do what I do. This is why I love what I do. Is because I'm going to help you write these stories and I'm going to help you become a better writer as I become a better writer. And I figured if I'm going to do this, I may as well allow you to join me, allow you to actually be here with me as I'm interviewing people, as I'm taking these little clips that I love, and you can watch them and you can learn from them. So that as you're writing and I'm writing, we're getting better together. And that's the whole goal of Keimino, is to get better together in written content.